So I got laid off again. Two-time layoff champion. I never thought they would be meeting like this. Honestly, I thought it'd be a little bit more razzle-dazzle to the experience, but God's plan. While I was more prepared for it the second time, the emotional impact of it still somewhat feels the same. I think whenever you lose a job, it's just going to be emotionally jarring. I also am a bit of a crybaby, so I don't know, that might factor in. There are so many people getting laid off right now, particularly in the federal government and the federal government contracting space. I wanted to share my journey, share some things that I've learned, try my best to help someone that might be going through the same thing or about to go through the same thing. If you want to learn more about what that experience was like, or some helpful tips, or just to follow a new journey, then this is the video for you. So let's get into it. Now, before we get into it, I have two things to say. Number one, hi, I'm Jada. My first video, this is about me not having a job. Number two, while I'm giving y'all the tea, I will be doing my nails because while it feels like the end of the world, it does not have to look like it. Look your best. Go out looking your best. Like I said, I got laid off twice. I've been working in tech for like 5 years. It's inevitable. At some point, you are somebody that you know is going to get laid off. It's like almost an initiation into the tech world. While I always had that in the back of my head, did I think it was going to happen when it happened? No. Let me tell y'all how this went down. It was about to be homecoming weekend, so the girls better be outside, okay? And on that Thursday, I won an award for top performer of the quarter, because don't get it confused. Pussy and work over here. Mind you, October is my birthday month. I'm outside with my friends all weekend long. We had a ball. It was even more lit because I won the awards. Then I go to work on Monday. I logged on, people getting laid off. I'm like, what's going on? Then I got hit with my little Slack message. Hey, can you hop on the call real quick? Immediately no. You about to lose your job. I knew it was about to go down. I had like 30 seconds to prepare myself for this moment in time. And I was like, I'm about to lose my job. Oh my gosh. I got on the call. It was like 45 minutes. I am bawling, crying. I'm camera off, but I'm bawling, crying. My boss was like teary-eyed, and it was his boss that was doing all the talking. Laid me off and was like, is there anything else that you want to say or want to talk about? I said, I want to get off this call. Are you done? Baby, I got to figure out how to pay my rent, okay? My mom, like, she was like, hold on one sec, let me get your dad on the phone. I'm down the phone. He was like, hey, what's going on? I was like, I just got laid off. He brought me from here to like here, which is good for me. I was just emotionally a wreck for a while. I don't know if I ever really got past that moment. Because it happened so quickly, you definitely just feel like a number. I always knew that that's how a lot of companies treated you, but I definitely felt that in the moment. I'm someone that goes through my emotions, like I have to get it out. First instinct is to cry. I'm gonna cry. Good, bad, sad, I'm crying. And then I feel like my mind is clear and I can figure it out. I talked to my parents for a while. We talked about everything, all the emotions, next steps. One thing my dad kept saying is you should really take this time to figure out what it is that you want to do next, to find a company that you identify with or just chart your own path. But while he was saying all this, he was being very positive. And he was like, you are the prize. I believed all of that. But also I was like, boy, rent due. These folks talking about they finna go to brunch. Like, gotta get me some money. I gotta find a way to get some money by tomorrow. Do you hear me? I did not spend a lot of time that first time trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. I had been in contact with some recruiters and they emailed me, ironically, right around this time with this job that felt like a great opportunity. And I ended up getting that job like 3 weeks later. It's truly a blessing from God that the same month I got laid off was the same month that I started a new job. Obviously, I didn't know that was going to work out. So there were a lot of things that I did to set myself up because I'm thinking it's going to take a while. The job market is very difficult these days. So things I did then to try to set myself up for whatever was next to come are things that I was able to kind of apply this time, so I was better prepared. I didn't tell too many people the first time. I told some people after the fact. Even though layoffs are not performance-based, sometimes, at least for me, it feels a little embarrassing. Like, I lost my job, I had to go back here and do this. It should not be embarrassing. It's not embarrassing. It's really out of your control. It was overwhelming, it was stress, and I feel like when I'm dealing with so many things like that, I can't really involve everyone because they're just gonna stress me out more. So I had to really keep it to a trusted group. The second time, I did see it coming. I switched from tech to a federal government contracting agency. So, you know, if you're paying attention to the news or you talk to anybody, then you know that it's terrible things happening with the federal government right now. There have been mass layoffs across the federal government and the federal government contracting agencies. So I knew that it was a matter of time. Literally was going to work every day, logging on, thinking today could be the day. Every day that we made it through, I was like, all right, we live to see another day. Like, I had some pretty important client calls that morning, and people that were supposed to be on those calls weren't coming. People were on huddles. It was chaos, and I was like, oh, it's about to go down. And then we got an email, mandatory email, at least half the company on the email. Immediately, I texted my boyfriend and I said, I think I'm about to get laid off. And he was like, what is happening? And then went and walked to my brother and I said, I think I'm about to lose my job in about 30 minutes. And he was like, what? I was like, yes, my heart is beating out of my chest. So do you think we could do a breathing exercise? And he got into it. While we're doing this breathing exercise, we're walking through everything. Like, okay, what are you going to do if this happens? Do you have this? Do you have that? And I'm like, yes, like the answers to his questions I already had. I didn't have that the first time. I got on the call and it was just, you just feel it in the air. You start talking. Yesterday, we lost these contracts. They're big contracts. This is the first time that they've ever had to do layoffs. I just felt like, okay, it happened. I'll say one thing that was very different that I really appreciate is this was not a very quick thing. We stayed on the call for at least 30 minutes and they allowed people the opportunity to ask any questions that they had and to share their feelings. Being on the call with my coworkers and seeing them crying, knowing a lot of their background, like as a project manager, you just learn a lot about a lot of people, and you kind of double as a therapist sometimes. So knowing a lot of the stuff that people had going on, hearing them ask questions and their voices cracking, baby, that did it for me. On the phone with my parents, I was like, hey, I just got let off. We had another wonderful conversation. These are things that he said the first time, but they registered more with me this time. 2 days before this, I think it was like 2 days before this, I was talking to my dad. And I was like, honestly, Dad, if I got laid off, I would just take this as a sign from God to just focus on my passion projects and other things that I want to work on. And that happened. That was Monday. Wednesday, they was like, hey, you got to get up out of here. Say no more. What I will say that I've learned through this journey, I've already known this, but it really was solidified through this journey that without a solid support system, it's very difficult. I know that I'm privileged because I know that a lot of people don't have that. So consider me your new support system. Now, financially, I ain't gonna be able to do nothing for you because I've lost my job. I'm unemployed. But emotionally, mentally, I got you. Let's talk about some things that I did, things that I learned the first time, things that I did the second time to prepare myself, and some things that you can do if you are going through this or preparing yourself to go through this. A lot of the things that I was worried about was rent and my car payment and my credit card. When all this was going down, I was trying to get my plan together. First thing I did was try to see what my options were to get out of my lease. So I learned that my buyout fee was $4,000 plus 2 months of rent. I wanted to have a plan in case I didn't get a job in enough time. I knew about buyout fees. I never knew how much they cost or how they work because I just never anticipated having a buyout a lease. Luckily, didn't have to buy out that lease. I moved out of that apartment when my lease ended. And when I was looking for my next apartment, part of the decision making process was the buyout fee, because should I end up in this situation again, I want to make sure that it's something that I can afford and get myself out of it. So the buyout fee was definitely something that I asked about. My buyout fee at the next apartment was 1 month's rent. That's doable. We already plan on paying that anyway. The second time, thou who shall not be named got elected in November. I was part of 92%. I did my part. Other people didn't. I just knew like it's about to go down and I'm not going to be here for it. So I went ahead and bought out my lease in November. That reduced my expenses because I reduced my rent, I reduced my utilities, trash, the cost of living in DC. All that drastically decreased. The second thing I was concerned about was my car loan. My auto loan, which is through USAA, so I don't know how this applies to everyone, but I learned that we have a grace period of 15 days. I did not know that. was just paying mine when it was due. I also learned that they had a financial hardship program. So their program, you have to answer a series of questions over the phone, and then if you qualify, they will pause your payments for a certain amount of time. However, when you pause your payments for that certain amount of time, it does extend your lease, your loan, by however long it is. So if they offer you the opportunity to pause your payments for 3 months, you won't have to pay for 3 months, but your lease will extend by 3 months because they still got to get their money. You have to do what you have to do. And I think that is something that is useful. Fortunately, I was able to continue making my payments, but I did call them and let them know just to see if the option was still available, and it was, just in case things do take a different course. The third thing I was worried about was my credit cards, because in America, credit scores matter. I definitely recommend reaching out to your credit card companies proactively. Many credit card companies have financial hardship programs. I know for me, I have Capital One and American Express, and both of them do. And I told them that, I wasn't sure how much I'd be able to pay because obviously I'm going through a transitional period. And they offered me the opportunity at Capital One to pause my interest for a few months. For American Express, they also did significantly reduce the payment that you owe, which I think that they are willing to work with you because at the end of the day, they want their money. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You lost your job. You're doing your best. It's expensive. The last thing I was worried about was just my insurance, because insurance also sucks. And I had really good insurance. When they send you your information, they should tell you when your benefits expire. I recommend that you go ahead and make appointments for anyone that you haven't seen, just so that you can go ahead and get some checkups, get some prescriptions, get some contacts, glasses, whatever you need to hold you over until you get that next opportunity. You do have the option of immediately rolling in Marketplace when you get laid off. Those plans are not the greatest. Some companies will also offer you the opportunity to stay on that plan. You just pay at their cost. That's what this last job did. I went ahead and made appointments for my annual physical and for my eye doctor. That way I can order some contacts in bulk. That way I don't have to worry about it because my insurance benefits will expire, I think, at the end of the month. Those are things that I was worried about. Those are things that I learned how to manage. Okay, one hand down. Having gone through this twice now, I do feel like I've learned a lot about myself and the industry. And I would say that my job does not define me. My company does not define me. And I think it's really easy to get caught up in that, but that's not your story. I know this is a really stressful time. I know you're like, girl, I hear what you're saying, but I also gotta go pay the rent. I understand that. But this is also an opportunity to figure out what it is that you really want to do and to pivot. Take some time, if you can, to really sit and think about what it is that you want to do next. Everything is in shambles. Everything is in flames. So you might as well be happy, or as happy as you can be in this next chapter, or at least working, doing something that you feel most passionate about. Take some time and figure out what it is that you really want to do, that you'll really be happy about, and do it. I support you. The first time I got laid off, I really felt like I had lost a part of myself, in all honesty, because it was such a journey. It was such a journey. And I felt like I was having like a bit of an identity crisis. The second time I had such a different perspective. Like, I know that I was more mentally prepared for it, but also emotionally. Well, I was crying because your girl's gonna cry. I also felt different. I felt like this was an opportunity for me to seize the moment and do what I want to do. I tried to reshape my mind to look at this as an opportunity and not as the end. This is just the beginning of the book. If I'm being honest, I was at a point where I didn't even know if I wanted to stay in that field. I didn't know if I wanted to stay in that job. I was trying to see how it aligned to my bigger goals. And at the beginning, it was very easy to see how it aligned, but as of recently, it was very difficult to see how this still aligned with my larger goals. And I started to feel like it was time to make a shift. And from what I know is sometimes when you feel like you need to do it and you don't, you'll get that push. And whatever you believe in, you'll get that push. For me, God gave me that push and was like, hey, little shawty, let's go and get up out of here. It's an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity to sit down, think about your life, think about what you want to do, think about who you want to be, and go get it. And it is scary starting over, or, having to find a new job, thinking about maybe going back to school or moving or family or kid, all these things that you want to do. It's very scary. Trust me. I have been thinking about what I want to do next, and all of it is going to require me to start over. You guys, I had a very cushy salary. So starting over is definitely terrifying. At the same time, if I don't take the time to start over, I will have regrets, and I would rather start over and try it and fail at it than to be having regrets later on. At least I can say that I gave it my all. I can promise you that you're going to be okay if your mindset and you believe that you're going to be okay, because you're going to move like that. You're going to act like that. You're going to pick yourself up. Conversation with my mom, and my mom's, I'm not going to be disappointed if you have to start over. I'm not going to be disappointed if you have to move home, if you have to do this or do that. I'm not going to be disappointed in any of those things. The only reason me or your dad would be disappointed in you is if you just quit, if you lay down and take it. Get up, fight, figure out what you want to do, and let's go do it. So, what's next for me? First and foremost, I'm going to go live my life. I had some plans coming up. I'm going to go do those plans. Okay? One monkey don't stop no show. There's some things that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Most immediately, I'm going to make more content. I've always wanted to make content before it was a thing. When I was younger, I started off when I was younger, walking around with a camera, recording all of our family vacations and doing confessionals before confessionals was a thing, and interviewing my family and just saying to people like, hey guys, we're here at the pool doing X, Y, and Z. So it's always been something that I wanted to do, and I am going to take that more seriously. And also, I'm going to change paths. So I don't foresee myself going back into a project management role right now. I do foresee myself doing something else and redirect my energy to my passion projects and the things that I've been wanting to do, the things that I dream about at night, the things that are on my vision board. The least I can do is try, because at this point, it's all falling apart anyway. So what do I really have to lose? We've already lost it. I really hope this video reaches somebody. And if you have more questions or need some advice or support or a virtual hug, drop it in the comments. Let me know what I can do. And if you just want to know what I'm going to do next, if you just want to be a part of this journey, it's going to be a good one. Okay? It's going to be some ups, it's going to be some downs. I'm going to share them all. But if you want to know what's next on this journey of mine, comment, like, subscribe, stick around.